Welcome back. The death of a 3-year-old Florida boy is now sparking conversation in Tallahassee on what can be done to make sure similar deaths do not happen and ensure the safety of children.
3-year-old Miles Hill died earlier this month in Orlando after he was left inside of a hot van for nearly 12 hours by a daycare worker. That employee, Deborah St. Charles, has been charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child. Investigators say she picked up Hill and 5 other children to take them to school, but while the other children made it safely to daycare, Hill was left behind. Police say St. Charles didn't check to see if all of the kids were off before getting out of the van. She has since been fired from the daycare. And following that preventable death in Orlando, there's now a new Florida bill that would make leaving a child unattended in a car illegal.
Currently, the law says you can leave that child in a car for up to 15 minutes without the air conditioning running. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley tested that length of time in a car to see if a person could take that kind of heat, and he joins us live from Venice inside his car with more. Christopher?
Legal to leave your dog in a car with the windows up, but there are loopholes when it comes to leaving your child in the car, and that can be quite dangerous on a sweltering day like today. Joanna Davis is the mother of 2 children. She says she never leaves her kids in the car alone.
Never. There's too many variables.
One of those variables is the immense heat.
The sun bakes the outside of that car, and very short period of time the temperature goes well over 100 degrees.
It may surprise you, but according to Florida statute 316.6135, you are allowed to leave a child older than 6 years old in a car for no more than 15 minutes. But the motor must not be running. We wondered how hot it could get in a car after 15 minutes with no air. 15 minutes begins now. The car is off. We tested it out with our own ABC 7 vehicle with help from the Venice Fire Department. The firefighters and paramedics were so concerned, they gave me a handheld radio in the car just in case I started to not feel well. And they regularly checked the temperature with a laser. All right, we're just passing the 5-minute mark. You want to give it a quick test? After only 5 minutes, the temperature rose 10 degrees from 88 to 98. My body temperature went from its normal 97 to 100 degrees. At the 15-minute mark, the temperature inside the car was 102 degrees. My body was still 100, and I was ready to get out.
I think people become complacent, and that's when accidents happen. I think that they think nothing bad will ever happen to them and that they're invincible.
Even if it isn't a hot day, there can still be serious concerns.
There could be a bad guy there waiting to take a car. His focus is on taking the car. His focus is not on the child in the back seat.
But there's hope that this new Florida House bill could raise enough awareness of the dangers of leaving kids in the car unattended.
If it saves one by just making people more aware that now it's a crime, maybe it will save one child. And if it does that, it's well worth it.
And this new bill states that any parent, guardian, or anyone who's responsible for a child may not leave that child in a car for any length of time, and anyone who does that could be charged with a 2nd-degree misdemeanor. If signed into law, this new bill would go into effect next year. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.